Toledo police releasing new crime statistics today. Some of the most important ones, like homicides, are down.
But not all things are trending downward. Today, we learned that burglaries were up for the first half of 2026, even though the totals are lower than years past. I-Team anchor Sean Haggerty breaking down some of those numbers tonight. Sean?
Yeah, Lead Chief Mike Trenley telling us today that dating back to the years 2011, the city of Toledo would see around 9,000 burglaries a year. Even with the jump in 2026, we're nowhere near that number. Burglaries, auto theft, and persons shot, each one of those categories is up year over year. Homicides, robberies, and thefts from motor vehicles, they are down. So those are all good things, and the chief's saying today there will always be some world where some crime is happening. Focus on burglary changes over the years after 2012. They did some in the department. They focused on data for those crimes, moving patrols where the numbers would send them, looking for patterns. They would increase analysts as well.
From that point forward, we start seeing dramatic decreases in our burglaries, and the fact that we targeted our burglars different. We had priority and prolific offenders, which a lot of them were burglars. We developed units to make sure to monitor them, follow them through the court process, even to catch them in the act, to make sure that they were prosecuted for what unfortunately sometimes people think is a low-level crime because it's a property crime.
Tonight at 6 o'clock, we're going to take a look at those license plate cameras, the flock cameras. Many cities are ditching them. Will Toledo stick with them? Lee?